Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Brickey here. Today's adventure, let's check out the Lego store in downtown Disney. Celebrating its 20th anniversary as one of the original tenants of downtown Disney, and maybe this type of curated specialty shopping could be the roadmap for the future of the shopping district that exists outside the gates of Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. Let's check out the Lego store and everything that it has to offer, which is a lot, an insane amount of product and a favorable amount of displays. The Lego store sits at the western end of downtown Disney. It actually sits on the edge of a bridge that goes over Disney Way, where you can see the Maleficent Dragon easily as you navigate your way up and down Disneyland Drive. One of those icons that lets you know that you're back home. Now, admittedly, I'm not a huge Lego guy, but I've always been fascinated about the simplicity, but yet the diversity that it yields. The Lego characters, I love that this simple platform has been manipulated an unlimited amount of ways to create a bazillion different personalities, and each one crafted by an artisan that's just as unique as the character that they created. There's a fascination of simplicity multiplied by variety, creates something that is just complete satisfaction. I love that all those little characters are making those silhouettes. And like many things in life, you may walk by and just see the characters, or you may go up and observe all the details. What you see in this world is a choose your own adventure that is entirely up to you. Do you stop and smell the details or just look at the broad strokes? These characters being completely made out of Lego, as you get close to them, you really see the artisanship that goes into making even the columns and the stained glass window behind the characters. I'm always fascinated about how many people probably walk by and be like, yeah, Beauty and the Beast made out of Lego, and they don't even realize that everything around them is made out of Lego. I love this steady shot of Beast's face where you really see the complexity of this design. Low lights, highlights, midtones, multiple colors inside of the eyes. And Belle, they tried. They tried to do a good job. But seriously, you realize the complexity of what it takes to create this and turn it into what we recognize as these characters. Scaling down to the dress, even though it's sun faded by the California sun, you can see that they had actual highlights and decorations on the edges of the dress, and the entire platform is made of Lego, as well as the flourishes over on the side of the wall in their ballroom. Organic shapes are the hardest thing to recreate, artistically speaking, because you're trying to create random, make it not look too forced. Whoever could make these smoke clouds out of Lego and a pixel type background to give some sort of context to the vignette that sits in the front of it, this type of layering absolutely drives me wild. Whereas most folks will look at RC car and say, okay, wow, they made the remote control vehicle. But to me, everything that exists behind it, the organic shape, would be the hard part. And then the brilliance of running some sort of supportive beam through the jet stream so you could actually support the Rocket and Buzz and Woody. So not only is it a memorable sort of Toy Story vibe or theme, but it's architecturally sound that the jet stream is holding up the characters, creating the magic trick, the illusion. Like I said, I'm not really a Lego guy, but I am a guy that comes from the world of art and design. So I have an appreciation for all the different magic tricks that these tools are able to create. And when you come into the Lego store at downtown Disney, you want to know, what do they have that's Disney related? I do wish they would make sets that were based upon the attractions. It would be very nice to be able to take home a souvenir of the park you just visited and to be able to do some building based on a fun experience you just had. So the Disney stuff they have looks just to be national distributed stuff. We do see some familiar friends and faces, but Florida type places. This is not our castle. It would be nice to be able to build some of the items from the park. And I'm sure with creativity and raw pieces you could do it, but some sets would make it nice. What I enjoy about this store is how much display items there are, making it somewhere between entertainment and retail, where it's very experiential and you can have fun while you're doing some shopping. Okay, quick. Guess who this is. Guess the pixels, guess the character. If you guessed Darth Vader, you are correct. And the reason why I wanted to come in here, hello, Tony, is because directly across the street from where the Lego store exists, actually diagonal across from this structure in downtown Disney, I love that they have a model of the building inside of the building. They are actually building a Star Wars store in the old Rainforest Cafe, which they've already teased will have some Star Wars props. They're giving it a theme. And speaking of themes, this is fantastic. You get to build an NES system and a TV for it to play on. I love this type of imagination. This type of creativity always wins me over. But the idea is if they're building a Star Wars store that has some theming in it, is the 20-year-old Lego store the template of the future? Shopping, entertainment, interaction, all combined where you're not really sure what exactly you're doing, but you are positive that you're having a good time? All of this through the eyes of a child. These type of curated shops at the resort always demand the longest lines. And I know that they're smaller than some of the biggest stores, but the passion for this type of retail space always seems to go beyond traditional retail. Hello, Batman. So now that we know that the Rainforest Cafe is in play, that means everything that's set inside of the footprint of where the proposed hotel was going to go, they got canceled a few years ago. That means the ESPN zone, the AMC movie theater, a couple of parking lots. There's a lot in play. So coming into the Lego store and observing what this type of multi-dimensional experience feels and looks like got me excited about the future. Santa, whatever you do, don't go away, bud. So not only does this store have an amazing amount of inventory in it, but it has an amazing amount of interaction inside of it. And during different times, it would have areas where we can build. This tale of the dragon, such a cool story that they're telling with this in-store display, which reminds me of the toy store that used to be in Times Square in New York City. Oh, look, it's Harry Potter and his friends. Not a fan. Just not a fan. But I do love that guy. And I like this guy. Maybe too many powers. That's him again. Love this guy. Scared of this guy. Don't know who you are, Dragon Fighter. Despise that guy. This guy's awesome. That guy looks like me. But you, my friend, you're the best of the batch. Never change, hot dog guy. The pick and build section of the store, which is really a centerpiece of the retail location, is closed due to COVID times. But if you look over in that yellow brick to the right, you can get a cup. You could go through and pick the different pieces that you want. I just think that's such a cool feature. And you're not a retail space if you don't have at least one Baby Yoda or child item for sale in 2020. But look at this build out. It's not only Grogu, but him in his floating bassinet with Jedi blanket attached, kicking up a little bit of Tatooine sand just for good measure. But look out, baby Grogu. There is something suspicious going on above you in the second floor. Which second floor, RIP, social distancing, can't get up there right now. But I do love that he's looking over Baby Yoda and judging his powers. So much power. But look at that Darth Vader build. That's fantastic. Love it. They did cheat on the lightsaber. And then the dragon tail that we saw on the other side of the build wall, I like that the head is sticking out way, way over here. And once again, these character builds, like just so much depth inside of the builds of their face, giving all the shapes. Although not as many colors used on this as Beast on the exterior of the store. From this wide shot, you can see not the biggest store, but very cleverly uses its space with keeping all the displays around the exterior and interior dome. Behind the cash wrap, there is this wall of, seems more adult, like kind of more complicated build systems for people that look for a little bit more of a challenge. I particularly like these city builds. Bit of an architecture nerd, that's how I fell in love with Disneyland. As much as I enjoy the sets that they do where you could keep building a whole world, I love some of the more bizarre standoff one items like this vintage Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Very interesting take on those characters. And I saw this posted online, but how great is it to go into the store, see the box, get an idea of how big it is, and then just spin right over and bam, it's on display, perfectly built out. You get to look at it. I think these are more expensive because they're autographed by them. I kid, but I don't kid about how intense this piano is. This Lego piano for $349.99. What a bizarre item. I would love to talk to the person that puts this thing together, and this is what they pick out of the store. Now, this Beetle set, very interesting. 1 picture, 4 options. Pictured models can't be built at the same time. You'd have to buy 4 kits if you want all 4 Beetles. I love this cheeseburger, drink, and french fry. I have a nervous habit when I'm on the phone listening to people talk. I draw cheeseburgers and french fries. I basically draw combo meals. And then for $200, Ecto 1. A very enjoyable store to come in, even if you're not familiar with the pop culture IP that you're looking at is. Just fun to see the creativity, all the different models that they have on display. Over by the exit, they have a lot of really interesting models, but it's kind of a crowded part to get a good shot at. This is the Star Wars display. That Millennium Falcon looks like a really, really fun, time-consuming project to put together. Lots of details on it, including those creatures that invaded it in Empire Strikes Back. Yes, you know the name, and I don't off the top of my head. See all the fun Star Wars characters there. But then let's go over here. Whoa, $800. Man, oh man. Here we have another, it looks like a Harry Potter build out. I could care less about the characters, but I love the little vignettes of the buildings. Why don't they have a Main Street USA that we could put together? Who's the insane person that says, I'm going to build a Coliseum? I feel like that this is a worthy challenge. It must be so difficult with all the pieces nearly being the same color. And then this police station build out. I just love the little buildings. It's a shame there's not a Main Street or a couple of different lands. So there you go, friends. Looking at one of the original stores of downtown Disney. It's been here for 20 years, and it might be predicting the future on Disneyland, creating way more curated shopping experiences where we can go into a store that somewhere mashes up where we're doing some shopping, some retail, some entertainment, some interaction. It'll definitely be interesting to see how downtown Disney evolves. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Lego store and the evolution of downtown Disney. And by all means, friends, until the next time I can see you hanging out outside of the Lego store doing a fun build, I'll see you back here on the channel with more Disneyland news.